Call order. 1900, 7 p.m. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to stands one nation, liberty and justice for all.
Right. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 16th?
I move that we accept the minutes of March.
Sure. Second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. All right. We're going to open the public hearing. 7:01. Is there anyone present who wants to about the Patronac?
We read the hearing notice
Oh,
first.
sorry, you're.
No, it's okay.
All right, notice of public hearing. Town of Berry Zoning Board of Appeals, County, New York. Please take notice that the zoning board, or the Town of Berry Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Monday, October 21st, 2024 at 7 p.m. Berry Town Hall located at 14317 West Berry Road, Albany, New York, 14411. The purpose of the hearing is continuing to consider an application for an area and use variance pursuant to section 350-117A, parentheses 2 and 3, to allow for the installation of a ground-mounted residential solar system. The property in question is located at 13911 Drake Island Extension, Albany, New York, 14411, within the agriculture residential district. All interested parties are invited to attend and will be given an opportunity to be heard. For details on how to participate electronically, please visit the town's website at townofberry.com. Questions may also be submitted via email to Lee Preston, Town of Berry, or through the drop box located at the Town Hall by 3 p.m. on Friday, October 18th, 2024. The application, all related documents, is available for review at the town all during normal business hours. Or the Zoning Board of Appeals, Preston, Clerk of the Zoning Board of Appeals, dated September 23rd, 2024. Now, anybody from the public would like to make comments? Yes, ma'am. Can you come up and to the mic, say your name and address and Board Gillette Road. Do you have comments?
Yes, I have it. I believe that, do this for the benefit of her, electric at her house, and I have no problem with it because as far as I'm concerned, she owns the land, pays taxes on it, she should be able to do what she wants to do within reason. And I think this is within reason. I have nothing against it whatsoever.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion, we close.
Charlie. Second? Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The public hearing is closed. All right. Seeker. Is Is there a motion to adapt the resolution? At the county.
Oh, this one's ours, so I have for you a proposed part 2 and 3 and a negative declaration of environmental significance. So what you're looking for is a motion to adopt the negative declaration of environmental significance as drafted.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
Make a motion. Aye.
Were there any comments received from any involved or interested agencies or from the county? Yeah, we got the response to the county referral.
No, Burl, yes.
Yes. If you'd like to discuss what you received from the county.
Okay, so for the area variance that we sent forward to the county, it was approved. And for the use variance, it was denied.
Those were the county's recommendations. And in order to overcome the county's recommendations for approval of the area variance and denial of the use variance, a majority plus one of this board, which would be a unanimous vote, would have to take place in order to overcome the county's recommendations. And as a practical matter, the granting of the area variance is meaningless without the use variance, because the use variance is what prohibits the use within the front yard. But that was the county's recommendation, and you have in your packets the full reasoning, and that reasoning has also been provided to the applicant. The board ready to deliberate on the area variance application?
Yes.
I'll assist you in walking through the criteria. So the first criteria is whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood, or if there will be a detriment to nearby properties by granting the requested area variance.
That was yes. It
Why?
goes against the code by putting it in the front yard.
Do you think locating it in the, aside from the use varia aspect, do you believe that a undesirable change would be created by locating this within the front yard, but for the prohibition on having it in a front yard?
And the use of the area. Are you doing the area?
We're talking about the area variance.
Yeah.
So aside from the fact that it's prohibited in the front yard,
No. Where she lives in, it's a dead end road there. She owns all the land there, 80 acres.
any other comments from the board on that criteria? I'm just typing while you talk. Okay, ready to move on to the next one? The next criteria is whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method that is feasible for the applicant to pursue other than seeking an area variance.
I see where, I mean, there's enough property where you don't have to get an area, or to get a variance of where to put it. You have other places that you could put it. It's a want.
You start
So,
clearing.
so
At the last,
stop this. So this is not a back and forth discussion. The board is deliberating at this point. On the county's recommendations, I can tell you that in the county's recommendation, they recommended that this array be building mounted. So whether or not you agree with that is academic. That was the county's recommendation, but this is not a discussion. We've received your comments, we've received the supplemental materials. At this point, it's the board's deliberation, not a discussion. was provided to Third Rock.
So there are alternative solutions.
The next criteria is whether the requested area variance is substantial. Is it a large variance that is requested? Any other comments from the board? The next criteria is whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And I'll just remind you that you just made a negative declaration of environmental significance.
Yeah, it'll be in the front of the house, which goes against the policy, the code.
I think the nature of this particular criteria refers to like a negative impact on the land itself or the environment. Do we have comments about that? Yeah, got to give me yes, no, and why. Got to comment something, guys.
I'll say no on the land, no.
Okay. And the last criteria for the area variance is whether the alleged difficulty was self-created.
Yeah, self-created because there's alternate means that they can do.
Are there any other comments from the board on these criteria? Taking into account the board's comments just now, it appears that 3 of the 5 criteria have been met. So is there a motion from the board to approve the area variance?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
So the area variance is approved.
Okay, next we're gonna move on to the use variance, and we'll be deliberating the criteria on the use variance. The first criteria is whether the property can be used as currently zoned without causing undue hardship. The property is currently zoned agricultural residential.
No undue hardship.
Why is that? Okay, anything else? The second criteria is whether the applicant can realize a reasonable return on her investment on the property with another use aside from a front yard located solar array. And to remind the board, it's required to be proven with dollar and cents proof.
So using it as a home, so the return should be substantial.
Anything else? The next criteria is whether the requested use variance, if granted, will alter the essential character of the neighborhood. This is very similar to the criteria in the area variance.
Other than violating the code. I don't see it.
And the last criteria is whether the hardship has been self-created by the property owner.
Definitely self-created. Choice and location.
So with the use variance, the applicant has to satisfy all 4 criteria. It's not a balancing test like the area variance was. Following this board's discussion, it appears that the applicant has only satisfied 1 of the 4 criteria. Is there a motion to deny the use variance?
Make a motion.
Dave? Second? I'll second. Charlie, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's it.
That's it. So A is completed. Board has made the decision. We go into the comprehensive plan. document. Kimberly, did you want to talk about that?
Did you all have a chance to look at it?
Yeah, if you want to just give us the view.
Well, started this a year ago, I believe, and we've been working on the new the updated comprehensive plan for, I think, a little over a year, maybe about a year, and we had a public open house, and we also sent out a survey which had quite a few responses, and took a lot of the survey responses into consideration. There wasn't a lot of changes, but does anybody have any questions about any of it? Rather than me go over everything we did, which is,
Am I right that the committee is looking for this board to give comments, and there's going to be a public hearing coming up, right?
yes. November 18th?
Is it
18th. So you don't necessarily have to come
We're
up
just
with
looking-
comments
yes,
today,
yes.
but
If you have any questions, what we did, I can try to answer.
Pretty interesting read. The maps that you guys came up, very informational.
Oh, Barb does a beautiful job on those maps.
Did. So
Yeah.
many water.
That's surprising, isn't it?
Amazing.
And
Water
also
vision.
the census information is pretty surprising.
Yeah, that was interesting too.
Sure.
How heavily did, grievance, the lady who does the grievance, what was her name before she quit? How heavily did you get her input on tax? That? I'm trying to think of her job. She was the assessor.
Stephanie?
Yeah. Did she play a part? I was just curious.
She was on the
the
committee,
committee?
but she wasn't able to make a lot of the meetings. Well,
That's up to
I don't know if we would, I mean, I don't think we're gonna put anybody new on the committee at this point, but you would have to ask.
Sorry.
It's in the front, everybody that's on the committee.
So the committee's work is pretty much done. You're just compiling comments.
That's me. Mhm.
So now we got a book like this, and you go through it, highlight, point.
Mhm. Exactly.
Are we good with the comprehensive plan document review?
Charlie?
Just, I'm looking at this here, I need,
Yeah, just go ahead and
Okay, yeah, Kelly will be our POC.
make sure you note what section it's in, or, you know.
Just send it to the whole group, that way everybody gets it. That'll work. All right. Motion to close the comprehensive plan review, document review. I don't know if I need to make one, but I'm gonna make it. This should be thick.
I moved to close.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? All right, do we have any old business?
but we gotta move that somewhere else. I can't hear without music in there.
Any old business? Just a reminder about the training. Lee sent something out today on an email. I think it was an email. For some training as well. All right. If there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second,
Second.
Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we adjourn at